It is a Monday morning. We're talking fantasy baseball, all coming up next in the RotoWire Fantasy Baseball Podcast. Happy Monday morning, everybody. Welcome to the RotoWire Fantasy Baseball Podcast. I am Scott Jenstad, joined as always on now Mondays by Jeff Erickson. We're sponsored by Chalkboard. We appreciate the sponsorship there. Jeff, how's everything in your world? We are flying through this baseball season. We're almost done here.
Yeah, we sure are. I'm doing well. Gotta say, been kind of crazy busy the last, the convergence of baseball and football is really getting me right now. I just spent 4 days in Vegas, 4.5 days in Vegas for Circa's kickoff weekend for Survivor and their pick'em contest. Did a bunch of things for VSiN, a lot of traveling, a lot of driving, all that. It adds up after a while.
Yeah, these 3 weeks, they're busy on me, who doesn't even work in this world like you do. I can't even fathom what I mean, it's just a crazy time there. Oh, I think it's so crazy that Jeff might have frozen. All right, well, Jeff appears to be a little bit frozen there on this Monday morning. Just getting a quick start there. I will shoot him a message, and we'll keep chatting here. Anyway, we'll talk some baseball here while we're waiting for Jeff. Interesting weekend across the board in baseball. Jeff texted me, he had a major electronic surge, so we're going to get him. We're getting him back going here. But interesting weekend of baseball. Two of the big franchises struggled over the weekend, with their rivals, both the Dodgers and Yankees in that regard. But Jeff, are you back?
In spirit, at least. Not quite with everything that I want technology-wise right now, but we'll do our best. We'll just power through this.
I was telling everybody, I was texting you had a power surge, but I was talking first brought up the Padres. Padres-Dodgers, interesting series there. I was saying both kind of landmark teams in the World Series last year. The Yankees and the Dodgers struggled this weekend, but both kind of saved themselves on Sunday. Padres struck back after getting swept by the Dodgers 3 straight last week. They won 2 out of 3 this weekend. Dodgers came back and did get a win on Sunday, but the Padres pitching was really good. Nestor Cortez and Yu Darvish pitched really well on Friday and Saturday. Dodgers really had trouble scoring runs, and then yesterday broke out 4 homers for the Dodgers. But Jeff, it's tied right now. The Dodgers fought back yesterday. Who's winning the NL West? This is a really, really fun division.
Well, I remember many times when one team with momentum over the other over a weekend series, and then subsequently lose it when they go out and play somebody else.
Yeah,
a couple years ago, there was that big deal where the Padres swept the Dodgers. The whole city was in celebration. Even the librarians got into the case, if I remember, and all that.
And we lost your mic there for a second. This is a technology circus right here by now. We appreciate everybody hanging with us. But yeah, Jeff was saying, momentum can switch in these series so fast. Baseball's tough that way. We see it a lot with playoff series. You win a couple games and all of a sudden it flips. One pitching performance can really do a lot of damage there. But I tend to think the Dodgers still find a way to win this division. I know they had so many injuries, so much going on, but they just kind of seem like whenever they need one, they get one. But it's gonna be a really fun race. We've got about 5 weeks left in the season, and a tied series is really fun there. But Jeff's telling me he lost me again. He's going to exit and re-enter, so we'll chat a little bit. Yankees was a really interesting series too. They lost 3 to the Red Sox. Everybody in New York was absolutely freaking out. I have a lot of Yankees friends who were freaking out. A lot of Anthony Volpe worry, a lot of worries about the team in general. But did get a win last night to kind of salvage that series, but almost got swept. They lost the first 3 to Boston. Really good pitching by Boston too. The Yankees offense just really, really struggling. They got shut down pretty badly by Brian Bayo, and then obviously Garrett Crochet. No shame in that one, but they got shut down pretty good on that one as well. So it was a rough weekend for the Yankees, but they did get the game last night. Carlos Rodon stepped up pretty big. Did have 5 walks in that game, but still stepped up pretty well. They needed a big pitching performance. I don't ever like to say that there's a must win in August. There's no such thing as that by definition, but that felt like a must win for the Yankees last night. They really did not need to get swept 4 straight by Boston. So, not mathematically a must win, but it felt like maybe for their morale, maybe for that team, that might have been a must win. So it's that's gonna be a good race too. The AL wild card is just kind of all over the place there. We've got 3 teams that have really separated themselves. They kind of go back and forth a little bit. Houston is now past Seattle. They're up 2 in that division, but in that wild card race, you got Boston, New York, and Seattle all really, really close with a game of each other. There's just nobody really behind that I'm really scared of or worried about. Seattle is the 3rd spot there, but Kansas City's 3 back. The Rangers are 4.5 back. The Guardians are 5 back. None of those teams really do much for him. Maybe if Texas can get some offense going because their pitching is so good, but they're probably the best of those 3 teams, but nothing that strikes fear right now. They had Marcus Semien go on the IL pretty much for the season too. He's out 4 to 6 weeks. Just taking that, looking at the schedule, that pretty much is the exact time for the rest of the season. So obviously in fantasy leagues, Semien was an easy drop, but for the Rangers, that's a big loss there when they're trying to stick in this wild card. That's really going to be tough for them to hang in there. But their pitching's really good. DeGrom had a little bit of they pushed back his start. He's going to start today, though. Sounds like his bullpen session went pretty well. So at least there's that in terms of the fact that DeGrom was they've avoided any kind of serious injury for DeGrom in that regard. So Jeff, I think you might be back.
Yes, I am. I'm going to go low-fi
here.
My sound system seems to be barking at me right now, so bear with the more tinny voice than usual. So.
We can see your mouth moving, but we can't hear anything you're saying.
Oh, well, that's probably an improvement. Good grief. Should be working okay, but
oh, goodness. All right. Well, we're having some tech issues here. I really apologize for that. But sorry about that. Jeff's texting me now. But yeah, so Rangers, I'd like to see one of those teams kind of settle in the mix and make this wild card a little bit interesting. Like I said, Kansas City, Texas, and Cleveland, but Boston, New York, and Seattle clearly in the spots right now. But fantasy wise, it's there's a lot of interesting stuff going on. One of the big names that's had a really big kind of since the All-Star break is Vinnie Pasquantino. Feels like we're finally getting the full breakout here. A lot of people really like Vinnie P. He's kind of a fun guy to talk about. Really, a lot of fans there, but having a big fantasy season. 28 home runs, 92 RBI, hitting 264 so far. So yeah, it's I do know Uncle Ted. His speakers are off.
Aware of the problem.
In the chat, can you guys hear me? Or can you not hear? Can you not hear Jeffrey? Can you not hear me?
Can you hear both of us? Let us know. Apologize for the problems here. I hear Scott just fine. So for what it's worth. But can you hear me now, Scott? They can hear both, they say. So should be an interesting, fun social experiment here. Sorry about the tech issues. This is all on me, by the way, guys. I got back from Vegas and resetting up my system and doing so hurriedly. Everything is off just a little bit right now. So we could talk to each other before we started this too, is the best part. So that's the amazing thing is, so we could just if we could have someone transcribe but literally everything we said, it would be an amazing podcast, but it would be way too difficult there. I know it. Yeah. So it's pretty wild. Scott's going to exit and come back in and we'll see what happens here. And then we'll keep going on this one here, but how y'all doing? Do you guys have a good weekend here? It's been pretty crazy. A couple of things that I wanted to hit up here to talk about. First of all, Cal Raleigh, crazy. 49 homers. I thought maybe he'd slow down. The fact that he's catching every single day. Every once in a while he gets a DH start, but he never ever sits, and he keeps on going. He's had little slumps here and there. Batting average wise, it's been a little bit of a battle for him every once in a while there. But Scott, I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm amazed at Cal Raleigh.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we're good. We're cooking with gas now.
What the heck was that? That is so weird. That's really odd. Everybody can hear us in the chat. I couldn't hear you. That's pretty wild. So yeah, I was talking about Vinnie Pasquantino. You're talking about Cal Raleigh. So I guess we're just covering twice as many players at once.
Yeah, let's go ahead and hit Cal Raleigh real quick, and we'll get back to Vinnie P.
Yeah. I mean, Raleigh, obviously had a big day against the A's yesterday, but man, it's a crazy season. 49-106 for catcher with 14 bags just tossed it in there. I mean, it's an all-time catcher season.
It is. It really is. I mean, literally it is. I mean,
Yeah.
more home runs than more home runs than we've ever seen from a catcher. First of all, you look at what he's done from just doing it from both sides of the plate. I mean, it's hard to be a switch hitter. That's one of the things that I'm really truly impressed with is that he's done it both lefty and righty. 19 homers lefty, 30 righty. So and think about that. How often does he get to face left-handed pitching? He just murder death kills left-handed pitching when it comes to the power. Just in everything for that matter too. But I should say 19 homers against lefties, 30 against righties. I got it backwards there, but 693 slug against lefties. He does it in T-Mobile Park too. That's the other thing that's crazy. You look at that there, 24 homers at home, 25 on the road. Dude, he shouldn't be doing this. This should not be possible.
So where does he get drafted next year? He's 28, obviously off the huge season. It's such a monster. It's such a difference maker at catcher, and especially in a league when you start two catchers, but even in a one catcher league, he's such a difference maker. Where the heck does he get drafted next year?
I think we'll collectively shrug and say its regression is the expectation, but regress to what is a debate.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know. I think maybe second round, early second round. Where did he go in the meatball draft?
Oh, that's a good question. I hadn't looked at. I looked at some things in that draft. By the way, crazy they're drafting now. It's awesome, but still crazy that they did the first 11 rounds of it, and it's actually a league, right? They play it out. It's not just a mock kind of thing.
No, that's right. It's a league, and they do it the 11 rounds now and then fill it out. But I'm so impressed with them doing that too. By the way.
The thing with Raleigh, obviously this season's a huge breakout, but he was really good last year. It's not like he's out of nowhere. I mean, he had 34 home runs and 100 RBIs last year, had 30 home runs the year before, and he had 27 bombs in 2022 and only 119 games. So he's just a monster power hitter. I mean, he's easily the best power hitter to catcher position, but he was coming into this year. The last couple of years, he still had the most homers by catcher in the last couple of seasons. Obviously, he's ramped it up a huge amount. More walks. The strikeouts are about the same, a little bit more hard contact, a bunch more barrels, but it's kind of in a progression 2023, 2024, 2025. Everything stepped up a little bit in terms of the hard contact. I don't know. Everybody after the home run derby, he kind of had a little blip. People were like, maybe he's going to go back. But the last about 10 days or so, he's ramped it back up again. It's just an all-time season.
It really is. Yeah. Are you willing to pay that beginning of second, end of first price net? I'm going to hold you to this. This is something you have to commit to right now. Right. Are you willing to pay this price?
I'm paying a second round price. I don't think you're going to get you can't pay for the stolen bases, but I think it's fair that you might get 8 to 10. I don't think I'm paying for whatever he's going to end up with 16 to 18, but 8 to 10 and 35 plus homers, 100 plus RBIs kind of seems pretty easy to put in pen. At catcher, I think in the middle of the second round, I don't know if I'll do it. I mean, it really depends on who you take in the first round. If you get no speed in the first round, maybe it gets a little bit tough. If you take a pitcher, then suddenly you get no speed. But I think he's very much in play. The price will be very fair there.
Yeah, I for sure. And he has 14 stolen bases on top of all that.
I know. That's the crazy part of it is the 14 steals. And if he had 6 last year, so it's not like he's not like it's a 0 and it's out of nowhere. But I don't know. It's gonna be a really interesting to see where he ends up.
Yeah. So you want to talk Vinnie P? I love talking Vinnie P.
I was saying he's just one of those guys that everybody likes anyway, but he's had such a good breakout this year. He's got 34 RBI in 32 games since the All-Star break. He's got 28 home runs after homering yesterday, 92 RBIs, hit 264. Strikeout rate's up, but it's still such a manageable spot. I kind of like that. He's ramped up a little bit. Maybe he's swinging a little bit more for home runs, but not to the point where he's got a huge bump in the strikeout. It's still 16%. Still a great number. Way low. In today's MLB, that's a great number. But barrel rate's up 3.5%. Hard hit rate's kind of about the same spot, a little bit down. Swing strike rate's up a little bit, but it seems like he's made an adjustment, but a really slight one. It's really helped. It has.
This feels more legit than last year's RBI surge, where Bobby Witt Jr.'s on base at a billion%. And it was just that he happened to be up every time Witt was on base and stealing bases all the time too.
Yeah.
This feels a little bit more sustainable. Couple other things about him, about Vinnie P is more line drives, not a ton more. 17.6 last year, 18.8% this year. A little lucky in terms of well, no, not really. I was looking at the wrong metric. 269 BABIP. He has actually been unlucky. Yeah. As far as that goes. Yeah, there could be even more to go. And the thing is, the fact is, he's had to rally to get where he's at now. So, if you think now is more a better snapshot of what he's capable of, then great. I mean, 10 homers in the last 21 days. That's ludicrous.
Yeah, he's been red hot. A couple people mentioned in the chat that Cal Raleigh was in the second round, looks like mid second round in that draft. So yeah, we had that price about right. I think that's kind of where he'll settle in. That's a good segue into second rounders. Jeff, what do we do next year with Jackson Merrill? It was about a mid to late second rounder in most drafts, and most 15 teamers. I think maybe early third round, some 12 teamers, but in that range, kind of the 22 to 30 range in there. It's been a disastrous fantasy season for Merrill. I know he's been banged up a little bit. He just went on the IL this week after missing 6 straight games. But you look at his counting stats, it's just rough. He's only played 91 games, so I do get that. But the number that sticks out to me is 1 stolen base. Like, you paid for this guy for a speed power combo. He wasn't a 40 steal guy last year, but he had 16. He had 24 home runs. We're at 9 home runs, 1 steal, 42 runs, and 51 RBI so far with what we got 5 weeks left. Now he's on the IL. Strikeout rates up a little bit, hard contacts down a little bit. That's a really bad combo there. What do we do with this guy next year? I mean, I think everything looked supported last year. It looks like a kind of a young breakout star, but he's still 22. Like, maybe some of this is the league adjusting. Some of this is him figuring it out. But where the heck does he sell in next year? I think he's going to be one of the harder guys to figure out where to place him in.
Jackson Merrill or Merrill Kelly? Who's been worth more? It's been Kelly. But I don't know. And the thing is, he's you have to, for player raters, he has played so little. You have to really kind of dig to see how much he's been actually worth there too. It's just null set in terms of all that there. 10th round, I don't know. I tend
to think he doesn't get that far, but it's hard to really make a case for him. I mean, the 1 stolen base it's maybe it's just been the legs all year. He hasn't felt healthy, felt good, but man,
22 though.
I know.
Earlier than that.
I was gonna say, like, pick 90 to 100 in there, somewhere like 6th, 7th round, and takes a little bit of a leap there. But you look at 2024, it was all really, really good. I think I'm taking a shot that far. I think he probably gets around there, but that's probably where I'm taking the shot.
Yeah, I'm just looking at just some of the numbers, and I mean, even like going on the IL this week. I mean, he screwed people for another week here with he didn't screw it. The Padres screwed it there.
Yeah, they let him go 6 games not playing before they put him on the IL, and maybe it's gonna be a quick stint. They can backdate a little bit, but yeah, it was a tough week. I sat him this week where I have him, or last week where I had him, just because he didn't play the first game and he was a little bit banged up with the ankle. But still, you missed that week, and if you had a full week, it was really tough to sit him. We play NFFC, we have half weeks, so you can it's easy to sit him first half. But if you had a full week, that was a tough sit, because it might have been 4 or 5 games we thought he was going to play.
Exactly. I was thinking end of the second, beginning of the third, going into this season, and got him in like 1 league or so. But fortunately, there were other like-minded people going after it there. But I just got to say, let's take a moment to recognize what a disaster the second round has been.
It's been a nightmare.
Jordan Alvarez updates are tilting me still.
Hey, Jeff, he is highly promising. He's going to play on Tuesday.
Highly promising. All right. Jackson Churio is now out for a long period of time. You got great work out of Wheeler, but unfortunately he's done, and that's a horrible story there.
Yeah, horrible.
Just pure health, not just baseball, but I mean, anytime you're dealing with the blood clot, it's scary. And
he's having that thoracic outlet surgery that I remember Tyson Ross had that. But it's one of those ones that it's not an automatic bounce back. I mean, obviously you hope so, but it's not an automatic one. But yeah, there's definitely some names in there. I mean, Jazz Chisholm kind of has turned it on lately in the second round. I think he's leading the majors in stolen bases, the All-Star break. So he's kind of boosting the fantasy value there. Funny, William Contreras, kind of same thing. He was really rough for a while. He's been on fire the last month, so he's kind of saving that. But yeah, it's Austin Riley was in that late second round too, and obviously huge disaster there fantasy wise.
Yeah, absolutely there. And I'm just looking at the ADP board for the main event, and
I was looking there too.
Crochet, Lindor. Mookie Betts has been a disaster.
Yeah.
Low-key disaster there. Logan Gilbert missed a bunch of time. Harper missed some time. Langford has not been worth a second-round pick either. Chris Sale's obviously a disaster.
I mean, Chris Sale was really good until he got hurt. But yeah, that's I mean, I'm looking at Langford. Yeah, Langford's 19 home runs, 18 stolen bases, turned on a little bit lately. But yeah, the strikeouts are way, way up. Batting average 248. He's not been worth the price at all.
So Wyatt Langford's similarly young. What are you doing with him next year? How early does he go?
I think he's gonna go pretty early, man. It's gonna end up being like 22, say something like that. If we kind of extrapolate his numbers out a little bit, but
look at the counting stats.
I know they're really
54 runs, 54 RBI with a month and a half to play.
Yeah, that offense has just been kind of messy. And then you look at I think the big thing with me will be, how real is the strikeout bump? He was a 20.5% strikeout guy last year, and that's his rookie season. You're like, he's settled in a good spot. Maybe he'll go down a little bit. He's 27% this year. I don't know if he's selling out for bombs, if he's what's going on. He does have a lot more hard contact. Barrel rate's 13%. I think people will look at that and be pretty excited. Too. Yeah, a lot more walks. But he's up about 2.5% walks. The barrel is interesting. I mean, it's up 4%. 13.2% is a really good number. It seems like he's changed his approach a little bit too, kind of but a lot more extreme than the Vinnie P stuff we're talking about as well. But and that strikeout number is the key. If it's still sells at 27%, you got a batting average problem, you get getting on base problem. The walks are good. 40 OBP is not going to kill you. I don't know what else in the middle if he's pretty solid. That's enough.
Yeah, I almost think the more I look at it there, I look at age to level. The more I'm thinking this is just part of the normal progression. I'm starting to think
I'm a lot more optimistic there than I am with Merrill after this year. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So real quick before we jump into some FAAB and deal with that a little bit, the top pitching next year in drafts, the top three is like the most obvious thing ever. It's Skubal, Skenes, and Crochet. Like I think everybody will settle those are the top three guys, especially with Zach Wheeler having this issue where he's out 6 to 8 months, so probably not ready for the start of next year. Who knows what we're going to get there? But Jeff, after those first three, I honestly have no idea who sells in at 4-5. It's like the most wide open kind of big pool of guys. I'm not even sure who the favorites would be. It's really interesting. It's going to be really fascinating. I mean, you've got guys like Hunter Brown and Christopher Sanchez who have had big breakout years, and they're kind of in that mix. Logan Webb has been awesome all year. He's low threes ERA, 180 strikeouts for Logan. I think we're always worried about strikeouts with Webb. That has not been a problem. I think he leads the league in innings. I think he's a half inning ahead of Crochet. He's 166.2. But when you throw enough innings, the strikeout rate can be a little bit lower. You still get a bunch of bulk numbers. He's fifth right now in strikeouts. I have no idea who's 4-5, and it's I'm not even sure who really is in that mix. It's just a whole bunch of guys. Do you have anybody that I'm missing or you think is really obvious in that range?
Brian Wu.
I mean, that's a great name. I mean, he's been awesome. He's thrown 6 innings and had 2 or less walks in every start this year.
Yep. Remember when we were thinking he was a durability risk, wouldn't go deep into games? There's a home road split issue there. It's not like he's a monster strikeout guy. He's a good strikeout guy, but he's not a monster strikeout guy. But I don't know. I'm buying into what he's selling. I think he's going to be there. Sanchez is going to be there. I'm just looking like earned auction value. It's Skubal, Crochet, Skenes, and whichever order you want. And then there's I'm comfortable with them way more than us. But the funny thing is, even those guys, because Skenes only has 8 wins, for instance, because Crochet's got a whip at 106 and others are in the low. There's some whip monsters that we're not talking about. Evaldi, Pivetta, have been earning quite a lot for us this year.
They have, but it's like you just don't feel comfortable with them as
I agree.
4th or 5th guy out start off the board. It's interesting. There's a top 3, and then it's just I have no idea who's next. I mean, there's a lot of really good pitchers, but the ace name kind of guys is just falls off hard. The top 3 is so good. I know you mentioned the Skenes wins, but 207, 181 strikeouts. Crochet may have a little bit higher whip, but 207 strikeouts already, 2.38 ERA. He's got 14 wins. Like those 3 guys are the clear top 3, and I have no idea. Some of the pitching experts, Paul Spohr was in the chat a little bit earlier. His rankings have been interesting. I don't that 4 through 10. you could go any order in those guys and be hard to argue. I really like the Brian Wu call. He's been awesome 2 years in a row. I know the innings were a little bit lower last year, but you were talking about a whip under 1 in back-to-back years now.
Yeah, exactly. And, it's interesting. It is really a really good debate. I'm sure we'll get some sort of consensus later in the offseason. We got another month there to finish it out. And some people will probably, separate themselves. Maybe, others will fall back a little bit there, and that'll kind of help sort it for us. I mean, we got another month and a half or 5 weeks of players getting hurt still.
For sure.
It was a big 4 just a week ago.
Yeah.
And now it's a big 3, unfortunately.
It's very true. It's going to be, it's going to take a leap of faith on some of these. I think a lot of these guys will end up being really good for the price, but it's going to take a leap of faith to go 4 or 5. Someone in the chat mentioned Jacob deGrom, another guy that, all the stuff is there, but that's a leap of faith to take him as the 4th starter overall. It's just a health issue. Are we going to get? I know he's had pretty much a full season this year, but are we going to get that again? Someone else mentioned Christopher Sanchez. We've talked about him a little bit. I think that he's going to be in that mix as well. It's going to be a really fun time ranking the pitchers. It's going to be really tough.
Yep, it is. It is. And, we got to get our starters in the main too. That's the thing. It's not just this exercise of, I'll just get 8 rounds of hitters. You can't do that.
You look at people that waited on pitching too. I mean, it's been ugly in the mid rounds and back rounds too. It's been hard to find. There obviously have been some gems, and if you took Christopher Sanchez where he went as your one of your aces, I mean, it's worked out really well. But same with Wu. But it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be it's not gonna be an easy road after that top 3.
Indeed.
So let's jump into talking some FAAB. But first, note from our sponsors at Chalkboard. Cash in on your MLB picks this season with Chalkboard. Simply choose more or less of your favorite player stats to win up to 5,000 times your money. For a limited time, new players get $20 free with no deposit required. Yes, you heard that right. $20 free with just sign on. See why over 1 million fans have already locked in with Chalkboard to turn their sports knowledge into cold, hard cash. Whether you're locking into the perfect slip with alternate lines, using the cash out feature to take your money and run, or hammering the daily promos, today's your chance to win up to $40,000 on a single entry. Stop sitting on the sidelines and get into the game with Chalkboard Fantasy Sports, now available in over 30 states. Download Chalkboard and use promo code ROTOMLB. That's ROTOMLB to get $20 free with no deposit required. We've mentioned football season. Jump into the NFFC. The NFFC RotoWire Fantasy Football Online Championship is now live. Play fantasy football against your favorite RotoWire experts on NFFC this football season. Jeff Erickson, Nick Whalen, and more will compete in the RotoWire NFFC Online Championship for a shot at $250,000. Sign up for a draft today at rotowire.com/high stakes. That's rotowire.com/high stakes. So, Jeff, it was actually an interesting FAAB period this week. Usually, this late in the year, people are down in money. It's hard to find names. Most guys have been called up already. The trade deadline's passed. We had a number of pretty interesting bids this week. We'll start at hitting. A couple of guys who got called up from the minors. Samuel Basallo, obviously, he was a call up last week, but wasn't available to be added in many NFBC leagues because he hadn't played yet. He got a lot of bids this week. Obviously, a huge prospect, a catcher. Adley Rutschman went in the IL to make a big difference. The Orioles said, he's our guy. He's going to catch most games. How aggressive were you here? I know people are running out of money, so we don't have the $200-$300 bids. We have a lot of guys, but it's a pretty good shot to get a really good prospect for 5 weeks here.
Went for 21 in my league. That just illustrates how much money is left. We were at 19, so
that's tough.
Yeah,
your bid was 19, or you had $19 left?
And we had like $50 left.
Oh, so you're the backup then.
Yeah. I mean,
he went for 20 in one of my mains, then he went for 60 in the other one. So it was definitely a big spread. He's picked up in a lot of leagues. But yeah, you're right. People are low in money. People need pitching. Shane Bieber, who we'll talk about in a little bit here, was really popular too. So people were figuring out where to spend money there. But how do you feel about Basallo coming up here for the next 5 weeks? Do you think this is a guy that's just can come up and hit right away?
I mean, every Oriole prospect seemingly has struggled.
I know.
So it's hard.
All these big name prospects too. It's been rough.
Yeah, I mean, and then not just struggled, but massively struggled, Scott. Strikeouts through the roof. And we'll see what happens with Basallo, but he's not a strikeout guy. So that's one thing. Just looking at his minor league numbers. Actually, more of a strikeout guy than I'm giving him credit for. 23.7% in AAA, but 13.7% walk rate.
He might strike out a bunch here at the bigs. We'll see. I like that they've signed him. So, he's there for good. At least in barring like an utter collapse of his own, but he's there. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's the key here is that the playing time. I think when he first got called up, we're like, Adley's there. How much are they going to DH him? They got a lot of kind of mixing and matching parts there. But yeah, the full run of playing time here down the stretch should be a pretty good, pretty fun. I mean, he had 23 home runs already in the minors in only 76 games in AAA. So the power looks really real. He hasn't struck out yet. Obviously, we're talking about 25 plate appearances in the majors. He only had 16%. But I think you're right. I think that how much he strikes out probably be the issue here, especially for the batting average. But in the at-bats I've seen, he looks like he might hit right away to me.
Yeah, exactly. I wish he was a bigger part of the offensive explosion this weekend in Baltimore before yesterday, obviously, when Trevor Rogers righted the ship there. But that whole Houston
Lord, what the heck is up with Trevor Rogers?
Oh, he's so good. He's just so good.
We made fun of this deal for good reason. He was bad, but he's got 11 straight starts of two earned runs or fewer. There
was a went to Driveline story that came out last week. And he's like, I didn't believe in that stuff. I thought it was just doing some weights and all that. And yeah, it turns out it really did help quite a bit.
In a list of improbable runs, though, this Trevor Rogers run this season is pretty high up there. This is out of nowhere, and he's been not only just been good, he's been elite these last. I mean, every time you sort by any sort of last 6 weeks, last 2 months, he's a top 3 ERA guy across the board. It's wild.
It is. Fastball is back up to where it was in 2023, 93.1. Not up to where it was in 2021 and 22, though. Ironically enough. Does have a 221 BABIP, Scott. So that does suggest a little bit of luck. And 2.5 home run to fly ball percentage.
Yeah.
He's throwing a very heavy ball and getting a little lucky, I would guess there.
Yeah,
but
there's no doubt.
40 and your FIP is 232. I mean, yeah.
I mean, talk about elite FAAB pickup. I know you grabbed him in the main event. I mean,
I wish it wasn't the main, unfortunately.
Oh, I thought you had him in the main. I'm sorry.
Leagues.
Oh, okay. But I mean, talk about falling into just an utterly perfect FAAB pickup. I mean, he's been as good as it gets these last couple of months.
The most impactful trade of the 2024 trade deadline, just 6 months after the fact.
Oh, wild. Yeah. At a time when Baltimore, they needed it last time and they got it this time when they're not in contention. So rough there.
And Stowers too. Stowers has been awesome this year. He's hurt now, I know, but still, it's Stout. We thought, maybe the biggest part of that trade was the third baseman, but no, it's been Stowers, it's been Rogers.
Connor Norby you're talking about there.
Yeah,
but
Norby,
it's Stowers and Rogers. I mean, huge. It's wild. It's funny how stuff works out sometimes. But the other big call-up was also offensive call-up was also in the AL East. Carson Williams in Tampa Bay. You look at his numbers, and this looks like a fun fantasy guy. But the strikeout numbers are really, really scary coming up to the majors. But he's over 2020 in the minors all the last 3 years, 2023, 2024, 2025. This year, 111 games, 23 home runs, 22 stolen bases, 72 runs scored in only 111 games. Everything looks really nice there. He walks a lot, 12% is good for the stolen bases, but that strikeout number is just scary. 34% in AAA this year. He's going to strike out a ton. He homered in his first game, so it was a good start. You're going to get some fantasy fun here in the speed and power, but man, the batting average floor here is really, really scary. It's kind of there almost isn't a floor here. What'd you do with Carson Williams this weekend? I think everybody saw the strikeouts and it kind of freaked them out a little bit. Obviously, he's you got to take a shot at him with that speed power comment. He's a guy maybe you just hope gets hot here. He went for 20 something and 49 in my two van events, so I actually didn't get him. I had some bids kind of in the low teens. I think he's interesting. I think he's gonna be fun to watch, but I think the batting average could be a problem.
We got him for 17.
All right, that's it. I mean, that's a good shot price right there. Kind of where I was into. Tell me about what you think we're gonna get from here.
I'm hoping we get Colson Montgomery with speed.
Yeah.
And just
that'd be nice.
It's a small block of time. I'm not playing. This is not me planning a Carson Williams flag. It's he's interesting and useful right now. Let's take a chance. Also, said main event team. Yeah, it's all about just taking some chances now.
Yeah.
And just staying active, being loyal to the league and finishing out the string.
For sure. I'm a big proponent of that as well. And I was going to the same boat. I think interesting enough, and you're right, the Colson Montgomery comp is really interesting because at the time we're like, oh my gosh, he's fun, he's interesting, but he strikes out so much that I just don't know if it works. It's worked. He's got 13 home runs in 42 games. Colson Montgomery's been really good. He's actually dropped his strikeout rate in the majors, which is it's not something we see very often. He is hitting 230. He has no speed. He has no stolen bases, but a barrel rate of 14%. Colson Montgomery, if you picked him up, has been a definitely a net positive.
Absolutely.
Yeah. One of the other names picked up in a lot of leagues this week was Gabriel Moreno coming back off the injury list. So not a prospect call up, but someone that, if you needed a second catcher, he's obviously he homered in one of his first 2 games back. He's someone that you're counting on for some batting average. He's hit career 280 in the majors and over almost 300 games. The power has always been the thing that we're hoping comes at some point. He had 6 homers this year. He had 5 and 7 last couple of years. But if you need a second catcher, Moreno for batting average, playing time, he should play a bunch down the stretch here. A little bit of pop, but you're kind of hoping for a little bit more. But Moreno's a nice add this week if you've been playing kind of the dregs of the second catchers, which in a 15-teamer, a lot of teams are. 3
of the top 4 buys in my main event were catchers.
Oh, crazy. That was that week.
Basallo, Moreno, and someone that dropped Austin Wells.
Okay.
And Don Warner picks up Wells, drops Francisco Alvarez, which tells you a lot. And Adley Rutschman getting dropped this week too tells you a lot about how the season's going.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. Alvarez had really warmed up and he had the injury, and there was just the quotes were like he's going to need surgery at some point. We're going to see how if it kind of mellows down to put him back in the lab. He might come back and try to give it a go, but I dropped Alvarez too. It's too hard of a time of year to carry 3 catchers. He might be out for a while. Maybe it may burn me. He may come back in a couple of weeks, but I felt like he was a drop too. It's interesting. In the 12 teamers, there was the third catcher. Kyle Teel was dropped in a lot of these, and he was picked back up. He's gotten warmed up a little bit. Teal's been quietly really good for a catcher as a rookie. Hit 283, really impressive. But just the pop's not been there. He has 4 home runs. He has 2 steals. Not a lot of hard contact. But if you need someone that maybe a little bit, he's hit for average in the last couple of years in the minors as well. He's been someone that has been better than most catcher 2s out there.
Absolutely,
yeah. So who else did you like on offense this week? I thought after those kind of the kind of really big name guys that everybody was bidding on, they were added in almost. You look at the main event, but Basallo was added in 56 leagues, Carson Williams in 52, Moreno in 43. Almost everywhere they were available. But beyond that, Luis Matos is going to get a run of time in San Francisco here. It seems like they're kind of realizing they're out of it in the race. And I know that maybe if they got super hot, they could sneak in the wild card. But falling back, it has not been a good year there. They punted a little bit at the deadline, but so they're gonna give Matos a run of time. It feels like he's been up a bunch of times, but never really got that full like you're gonna play now. Jeremiah Jackson is playing a bunch in Baltimore as well. He's leading off a couple times too. Who did you like else on offense this week? Because I found it kind of tough sledding after that Basallo, Williams, Moreno group there.
Thin gruel, AL only league. I bid on Nathaniel Lowe, had to settle for Bob Seymour. I got Jonathan Aranda in that AL Tout Wars, lost him. Also have Carlos Santana, and he's losing playing time now in Cleveland. So, I just trying to find anybody who could play first base. Bob Seymour was it. So, there was much rejoicing. Yay. He is playing, but I don't know how good he's going to be.
Yeah, he didn't do much last week, but did get a lot of playing time. Nathaniel Lowe's an interesting one. I mean, he's going to play against almost every righty the Red Sox play. Put him in that park. Put him in that lineup. It's an interesting little spot there. After getting flat out released a few weeks ago by the Nationals. But I like Lowe too. I probably would have had him over Seymour as well. Gavin Sheets is kind of rolling in a little more playing time in San Diego too. It's kind of tough with him and O'Hearn, but Sheets is he's playing a little bit more. If you need some pop, that kind of works there. Any love for last week's the hotness of Nacho Alvarez? He had a really big week last week. Again, finding a lot of playing time is kind of what we're looking for at this point. But second, third eligible. I thought that Alvarez was a little bit interesting. He hit the ball hard right now. Yeah,
usually I don't get a whole lot of elevation with him, but it could work. I could see it.
Yeah, it's a fun name if nothing else. Like when he does something, it's just fun to own. But no home runs, no steals makes that tough. You're kind of hoping for batting average a little bit. No barrels at all. He's like 1.5% barrel rate, so you're not going to get some pop there. It's just I looked at it. I was a little intrigued. I put him in my waterfall as well. But once I saw the speed and power, what he's done so far at the majors, I know the minors was pretty good. He had 26 steals last year, but it was tough to get behind too much there. The offense was pretty weak. In 12 teamers, the one guy I did like, and I've been adding him the last couple of weeks, is Brett Baty in New York. Playing a lot. Him and Vientos, like, finally are both playing. Vientos had a big week. I mean, it's been so bad all year. I thought about dropping him the last couple of weeks too, and I'm like, you know what? If
we came this close to dropping him.
I did too. I did too in a 15 teamer too. I was just like, I can't play him. Can I keep holding him? And he had that homer on Sunday night. He was last week, and I was like, all right. He's hitting the ball hard enough. I kind of looked at like the recent hard contact. It was coming around a little bit, but he had a big week this week. But Baty's been good too. Baty's been warm. It seems like they're playing, and Mauricio's kind of out of the loop now.
Yeah, exactly. Until the next streak comes along, and then they'll switch things up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been watching. Both Mark Vientos and Christian Walker have good weeks, and I'm like, oh, that would have been nice to have that all year.
Just enough to suck us back in for next year, right?
Yeah, I'll make other mistakes. That's just the problem. Is do you go with that? With Vientos, maybe. Walker probably not because of the age, but
yeah, I agree there. I think that I'll probably back. I just think Vientos was kind of just a mess for a while, so hopefully he finishes strong. But Baty's like, there's actually like some stuff that like looks better for Baty too. His hard contact's up 14% this year. He's at 47.5%. He was really a guy last year who did not make hard contact in the majors. I know he did in 2023, his first time up. But then, he's got a 13% barrel rate right now. Like, this actually looks like a guy that can hit the ball hard. He looks like a different guy to me at the plate. I'm really excited about Baty. I think he's finally maybe figured it out, and it's kind of just going to solidify himself in the lineup every day. I think that him and Vientos got to play. The Mets has got to put him in there. They're right in the mix for the wild card right now. But Philly without Wheeler, suddenly maybe catchable in that division too.
Yeah, maybe so. They're still holding off my Reds too in the wild card.
Yeah.
That one's still only 1.5. The Reds are doing their best to fall out of the race. They lost 3 in a row, 1 to the Angels and 2 to the Diamondbacks. Finally, 1 on Sunday to make sure fun stat. You probably have heard this already, but Reds have not been swept once this year.
Oh, I had not heard that. That's pretty good. That's some resilience right there. I like it.
It is. Would have been nice to win 2 out of 3 instead though, but
yeah, you want when you got we get the Dodgers coming up this week. You want to go into Anaheim and win 2 out of 3 because it definitely doesn't get easier this week for the Reds.
No, they did the Anaheim part. They won the first 2, but then lost the third there. Lost the first 2 in Arizona, and that was just a killer. Because hey, the Diamondbacks though they can still hit. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. had himself a week. They've got some other people that can hurt you there, but I don't know. We'll see. Let's talk some pitching. I know we got to get you out of here.
We do. I'm looking forward to Reds Dodgers week. Rumor is we might be going to one of those games and seeing Clayton Kershaw
in person scouting.
That'll be fun. But yeah, let's talk pitching real quick. I do need to jump out of here. I apologize, but Shane Bieber was the big scorer this week. Looked really good in his first start for the Jays. I think that it was the point, like, you had money and you pitching. Like, this is a shot you had to take because who knows what we're going to get here. He's obviously coming off a year where he pitched 2 starts last year, missed all of this year up until recently, but he was throwing a lot of innings in his rehab start. Looks really good. Looked great in his first start. It felt like this was, if you needed pitching, this is a shot you had to take this week.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And if he's available, you go big, and hey, in the Jays, this is them going big too. Do you go Gausman or Bieber in game 1?
I go, if he's healthy, I go Bieber in game 1.
9 Ks. 9 Ks in his first start. They took their sweet time getting him activated too.
They did. Yeah.
It seems like that worked.
The joys of having a nice, decent lead in the East. They're up 5 games still, but yeah, I think that obviously it's depend how these next 5 weeks would play out. But I think if he is healthy and looking good, I go Bieber 1, Gausman 2 if it's me.
Yeah, I probably would too if the timing works out well.
Was there anybody else you liked in pitching at all? Last week we talked about that was Noel McLean with the call-ups. I felt like it was Bieber, and then kind of maybe just playing some matchups. Like Parker Messick has looked good. Johan Oviedo got picked up in a lot of leagues. He has 2 starts this week. Tyler McGill coming back off the IL, but I kind of thought there was 8 to 10 guys take a shot on Luis Morales in Oakland. But I thought after Bieber, it was kind of like I don't know, take your preference. But it was nobody I was really excited about.
No, nobody excited about. Someone else just take a stab at. I need wins and tout wars. I picked up Ian Seymour.
Okay,
all Seymours on.
I was gonna say not only all Seymours, but all Tampa Bay Seymours.
Yes. Well, Joe Boyle's gone.
That
fantasy hipster Joe Boyle.
Holding Joe Boyle for 4 months that was not a play that worked out.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
He had that great start in that very first start, and they fixed him. See, it's just a matter of time before they opened up the space for him. We're ready to go. By the way, Taj Bradley getting lit up for Minnesota too was a bummer.
It's funny because I didn't even see the note that he was coming back up, and then I saw the stat line. And I was like, oh, Taj Bradley. I'm like, oh, 7 runs. That is not. I'm like, that's the Taj Bradley I remember from earlier this year, though.
Yeah, unfortunately there. So Ian Seymour has been pretty good so far. 26 Ks and 23 innings for the Rays. Over 104 Ks and 86 innings at AAA. He's 26. This is not a guy that pitchers can obviously have a later start date and be okay and have a career, but not someone that you're going crazy over as a prospect. But
and 2 starts
help you now.
2 starts at Cleveland, at Washington looks good on paper, at least. If you're going to have a race starter, you prefer him not in that park. But that's a pretty good setup. I mean, who knows what happens here? And I like that too. The minor league numbers look pretty good, like you said, and 2 starts this week. This kind of guy you take a shot on this point of the season.
Yeah, exactly.
Real quick.
Question, Permar asked, trust BB on a 2 starter there. What do you think? Tanner Bybee. Not BB, Bybee.
That is just so tough. He's been one of the more disappointing guys in the league. It's it's a Tampa Bay for the first start, then home Seattle. I think I'm throwing it if I have it, but I don't really feel good about it. Strikeout numbers are so far down. They haven't popped back up. Swinging strike rate's down. I'm going to throw for 2, and if it doesn't work out this week, I might just be getting rid of him for the last month.
I would just say, if you're chasing wins, throw it. If you're protecting ratios, don't throw it.
Yeah. Everything this point of the year is category based. That's a really good call, but I probably throw it, but I probably don't watch the game. How about that?
That's probably the smart construction there.
Finally on relievers before I gotta roll here. Anybody you liked in the reliever market this week? It was not obvious. There's just a couple of guys I wanted to ask you about real quick. Ryan Walker back in our lives potentially. Got the save for the Giants yesterday. Randy Rodriguez was unavailable because of arm soreness, which is not what you like to hear, especially for a guy who was kind of seemed like he was going to be the guy the rest of the way here after they made the trade of Camilo Doval. Do you have any love for getting back in the Ryan Walker world? I will admit I saw his ERA and WHIP, and I thought it was going to be a lot higher just because the first half of the year was so rough. He's down to 3.63, 1.12. The strikeout rate has definitely dropped considerably since last year. That 32% we saw last year has not been back. He's at 24% this year, but not walking guys. It's just weird. The swing and miss is totally gone for him compared to last year.
It is. Any port in a storm right now. If you're trying to chase saves, you can't afford to be picky.
Yeah, the other guy in that world is Andrew Salfrank in Arizona. Guy has gotten their last couple saves, or maybe 2 of the last 3. He's been really good in the small time he's been up, but another guy that hasn't got any strikeouts. He'll get swing and miss, but no strikeouts as of yet. But he's been really good. I think he's, if you're going to pick someone in Arizona, he's probably the guy right now, but I don't feel anybody good about it.
That was a waterfall for us, and that's about it.
So the last guy I want to ask you about in this mix is Bubba Chandler. He got called up by the Pirates. He threw 4 innings in that first start, but he's gotten called up as a kind of a bulk reliever. He came in the first time, threw 4 innings, looked really good, 2 hits, no runs, 3 strikeouts. Obviously, the talent here is huge. He's a 3rd-round pick in 2021, but has been, we've been talking about him kind of all season. There are people that stashed him all season. The AAA numbers were not very good in terms of ratios. He was 405, 148, but obviously the really live arm, big prospect. Do you see a way that he works in fantasy leagues these last 5 weeks? Is it just like, he's relieving, I don't want to do it? Is it, in a deeper league, maybe I can throw him as my 9th guy and get some strikeouts? I found myself not bidding just because it's hard to time what's going to happen with him. You're not going to get any saves or wins. It just makes it tough.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you just bet on talent and hope the role comes through. Again, it's all about where you are and what you're trying to do.
Yeah. And they have obviously no reason to push him at all. They're in last place. Yeah. They're terrible. So maybe, just get him a few innings. I just felt like team dynamic and the way they're using him, going to make it tough to use in fantasy leagues.
I mean, the fact is he was so good in his first outing, and it makes you
think he looked great.
Was he just stagnating in AAA? The fact that he didn't get called up, you see that occasionally happen with prospects. But yeah, you're right. You just don't know when you're gonna get that there. They're gonna, by the way, Pittsburgh. Take a look at their home road splits. They're actually really good at home. They're 39-30 at home.
Oh my gosh, they're 18-44 on the road. Holy crap!
Yes.
Wow.
They are such a bizarro team. 9 games for a team that's 17 games under 500. They're 9 games over 500 at home. And it's not like they play in this launching pad or anything like that. It's a moderate pitcher's park.
I can't believe they're 9 games over 500 at home. I knew they were bad on the road. I did not know it was that wild of a split. That's crazy.
Yeah. I would say it's just, I just think it's interesting that maybe there's some creature comforts. They hit better. I mean, they're tragic hitting on the home on the road. I think that's really the real takeaway here. The other Pittsburgh thing that's interesting is everything they're doing to try to make sure that Skenes gets the Cy Young, because that's about the only thing they have left.
Yeah, it seems like he threw 7 this week, and he's just so good. But yeah, it's there's a path though where like if you just like stuck Chandler in for these next 5 weeks, maybe you don't get the wins and saves, but like the numbers are good enough. It's just I think it's hard to play it week by week, but I think if you do it, you just kind of put him in for these 5 weeks, and then unless they shut him down or something, you just kind of use him. But
yeah.
So I got to jump out of here, Jeff. I apologize first of all for we had some weird tech issues the first like 8 minutes, so we apologize for those. But hopefully the rest of it worked out really well. It seems like it was good there. But Jeff, it was always good to chat with you. We'll be back on a normal Sunday schedule next week, I believe. So we'll back to Sunday nights and talking a little more at length. We don't have a time constraint, but thank you everybody for listening. Want to thank Chalkboard for the sponsorship of the podcast. Always appreciate them for that. Other than that, hope it was a really good week, a good fantasy week. We're back at you next Sunday night talking a bunch of baseball. So I hope it was a good weekend and take care.